In this brief video, we'll see how MacroView Case and Matter provides a great experience for opening documents from SharePoint into Word and for saving Word documents back into SharePoint. Here's a document open in Word. Let's save it to SharePoint using the Save As to SharePoint button in the MacroView group on the Home tab. This group and its buttons are added to your Office applications as part of installing the MacroView software. Clicking Save As to SharePoint brings up this dialog so that you can choose the area in SharePoint where you want to save the document. We're saving to a Matter area within our Office 365 tenant. We're going to call the document Sample. When we hit Save, MacroView examines the destination area and determines any metadata that's been defined there that can't be recorded automatically. We notice that there's a personal group column and that the current user is displayed as the default value for that personal group column. This is designed to reduce the effort related to capturing metadata. The second metadata attribute, document type, is a choice. We can drop the choice and choose a value. Alternatively, we can type ahead and choose it that way. We now save our document to SharePoint Online. The document has been saved to SharePoint Online, and SharePoint Online has allocated it a unique document ID, which ends in 2743. And that document ID and the current version number, 1.0, are automatically displayed in the heading of the Word session by MacroView, and also automatically in the footer of that Word document. What we're going to do is add some more text to our newly saved document. And now we'll hit the Close button and we'll be prompted to save our unsaved changes. Next, we see this nice menu of version control options. We could overwrite our existing version or save as a whole new document. What I am going to do is save it as version 2.0. I capture a comment and I note that the version updates in both the footer of the document and also the heading of this session. The document is now closed. If I wanted to open it from SharePoint, I could use the Open from SharePoint button again in the MacroView group on the Home tab. This Open from SharePoint dialog remembers the area where we've been working most recently, which is the 1072 International Equities Fund. If we click that area, we see our newly saved sample document, and here's a formatted preview of it. If we go to the bottom, we see that it currently has a footer showing version 2.0, and that's what it's showing in the metadata display here in the view. If we click Open, our document opens from SharePoint Online, and again the heading of the Word session updates to show the unique ID and the current version number, which is also shown in the footer of that Word document. Let's add even more text to our document and close again. Again, we're prompted to save our unsaved changes, and we see our nice dialog of version control options. This time, let's choose to overwrite our existing version 2 with this version comment. We click OK, and the document's saved to SharePoint and closed. Let's open again, and here is our document still at version 2, but if we look at the preview, we see that the additional text that we added is still present in the document. You can also open Word documents from SharePoint while you work in Microsoft Outlook. Here we are in Outlook. Here is our document that we've saved whilst we were working in Microsoft Word. Looking at its version 2, and that's reflected in the footer of the document. If we right-click and open, the document opens from SharePoint into Microsoft Word. Again, the caption of the Word session shows the unique ID and current version number, and this is also displayed in the footer of the document. Let's make some changes, for example, to color highlight these paragraphs. And again, we are prompted to save our unsaved changes. And again, our version control menu. At this time, we'll choose to save it as version 3 with this appropriate comment. The version number was updated in the footer of the document, and the document was closed and saved back to SharePoint. We go back to Outlook, hit refresh. We see our newly saved document at the top of the list, version 3, and our formatted preview shows the highlighted text at the bottom of the first page. Well, so far in this video, we've seen how MacroView Case and Matter dramatically improves the native integration between SharePoint and Microsoft Word and Microsoft Outlook. We've saved to and opened from SharePoint Online. The same experience is available with on-premises SharePoint server. MacroView Case and Matter enables intuitive interaction between rich client Office applications and the SharePoint document store. We've seen how you can do that with Browse. You can also use favorites and recents. And in the next part of the demonstration, we'll see how you can conveniently search for documents in SharePoint whilst you work in rich client applications such as Word and Outlook, Excel, and PowerPoint. We're back in Microsoft Word. Let's again use the Open from SharePoint button, and this time, rather than Browse, let's use Search. We can look for all documents that contain a particular word or phrase within our Office 365 tenant. Let's look for documents containing the word lorem. If we want, we can change the order of the search results, for example, to have the most recent documents displayed at the top. Click on this result, we see a formatted preview. In fact, it's the document that we've saved very recently. Here are the changes we made while we worked in Outlook. From the footer, we see the document is currently at version 3. If we right-click, we can open the document. Alternatively, we can use Open File Location to be navigated to the area in SharePoint Online where that document is stored. It's a convenient way of seeing all the related documents and emails for our sample document. Finally, in this video, let's see how MacroView Case and Matter also improves the integration between SharePoint and Adobe Reader and Acrobat, so that the experience working with PDFs is consistent with that when working with Word documents. Back in Outlook, we've clicked on this PDF in order to get a formatted preview of it. We note that the name of the PDF is not particularly helpful. If we right-click and open, that PDF will be retrieved from SharePoint Online and opened in the relevant application. Here's our PDF opened in Adobe Reader. Let's add this annotation. And on the File menu, we see that we have a Save to SharePoint option. Again, the MacroView software remembers the area from which we retrieved our PDF, but gives us the opportunity to assign a better name to it, such as Pool Service Invoice. Hit the Save button, and just like it would in Word, MacroView examines the metadata requirement for the destination area in SharePoint and allows us to capture new or different metadata, such as invoice. Our PDF is now saved to SharePoint, if necessary, as a new version. Back in Outlook, click Refresh when we see our renamed Pool Service Invoice PDF displayed, and the formatted preview shows us our annotation. For more information about solutions for effective management of documents and emails in Microsoft SharePoint, contact MacroView using these details.